Alright, good evening, YouTube. It is a little bit after midnight. I just completed my third block with Grubhub. I did 11 to 2, 5 to 8, and then 9 to 11:30, but then it was extended to midnight because the very last, I had literally parked at the McDonald's for 2.5 hours. Almost 11, and then after that I said I didn't get any orders. It was extremely slow. It wasn't a good day today for deliveries for me. So with Grubhub from 9 to 11:30, I say, okay, I'm gonna make my way back home. I know when I get home to Stone Mountain, I'll still be within the boundaries. And then what happens? Right before I get off my exit 11, I get a ping. I said, you know what? Are y'all really trying to test my patience today or what? But luckily, it wasn't too far. It was at the JR Crickets in Tucker. So I had to backtrack and go back to Tucker and pick up an order, which was not too far. It was still in Tucker. And I've been in this JR Crickets before, so I already knew them. So I called them up and said, "This is Teresa. I'm on my way. I know y'all close at midnight, but I'll be there in 11 minutes. So I picked up the order, delivered it. And it had been a late order because the guy was already in bed sleeping. I don't know what it is. I mean, I try to give Grubhub props because of the guarantee and because as long as you accept 75% of the requests, I try to give them a chance. I'm going to give them a chance because, like I said, it's better than Uber Eats, in my opinion. Now, so at least I know for a fact if that 11:02 didn't mess me up. Not 11:02. What time did I start my 11, 12, 1? No, it was from 11 to 1. I think it was 11 to 1. I gotta look at my schedule. But anyway, I know this morning that first block was kind of rough because I was still hype. I was tired. I didn't go to bed until 4:30, and I got up around 10ish because I knew I had to start at 11:30 or whatever time it was. And I was just in a pissed off mood, with this election thing going on and all the uncertainties of what this country will be leading to. And then I get the email from Uber Eats about they're going to, now it's going to be 35%. They're going to take out, I was just, and I was just like so pissed with that Uber, 35% starting today. They didn't even tell you, like, okay, next month, or we're going to get, they just decide to wake up after the election and say, okay, we're going to take 35% to be, talking about enhancements. Who is it benefiting? Unless you're going to increase the mileage rate, and this you're going to give the base rate, you're going to increase the base rate and the mileage, 35% Uber, you're fucking greedy. Anyway, I moved on from that because if this was a side gig for me and I wasn't relying on this to pay my basic living expenses until I go back into the workforce and get a 9-to-5 job or whatever, or I would drop Uber like a hot potato and just do Grubhub and maybe go back to Postmates. But I'm not going to be messing with Uber Eats as much. I'm going to do Uber Eats just to say, you know what, I want to make a couple $100 here and there, or to fill in time or whatever, because I haven't yet felt comfortable driving people again. Now, I know, I just don't. I just can't, that's just, to me, that's just too much. It's just too aggravating for me to do all that with people. Food, don't talk back. But now Uber Eats, you want to take 35%. Talk about you want to be in line with all the rest of the markets. I know ain't no way, no how that, what's his name in Florida, who does Uber Eats, that you possibly feel comfortable them taking 35%. A 75-25 split was bad, but then now they made it worse. And to do it the day after an election where people are angry, disappointed, and the people who does this is usually low working class people. It ain't no white conservative, elite business person or one of these high-tech millennials who's making six figures is doing Uber or doing Uber Eats. Uber wants to make a commercial, do it as a side gig, make it seem like, no, that's not the true picture of who's really doing these ride-sharing economy. People who's usually doing these ride-sharing economy gigs are middle-class people who's trying to make ends meet. Yeah, there may be some people doing it just to make a little bit extra cash money and spending money. But to be honest with you, the majority of people who's doing these gigs are usually people who are trying to make ends meet. And not really financially stable in terms of income. Either they are self-employed or they have other things going on for themselves. But to be honest with you, if you're doing this full-time like me, because this is the only source of income for now. And I know people who make videos talking about, make videos to promote whatever business you have. Yeah, okay, fine and dandy. That's good. That's good and dandy. And you have a referral code and just know how to do a referral code, make a website, and you can make $10,000. Ridiculous amounts. And showing off. To me, keep that to yourself. Showing, look, I make $5,000 a month, and I make, keep that to yourself. Because, see, some of y'all, I don't believe. Because y'all are very inconsistent. And I have a very long memory about what you show me. Now, I know people may say, some videos may be made from 2 weeks ago and blah, 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 and this and that or whatever. Now, I'm not talking about any, well, you know what? I am referencing to certain people that I've seen videos, and I say to myself, you know what? Yeah, right. I don't believe it. You could buy a house. I could buy a house just by the income of Uber. Man, please. Unless you've done Uber for the last 3 years, 4 years, and you're truly doing something other than driving with Uber, even if you were doing the referral bonuses, come on. You think that Uber and Lyft is pushing all this money out just for the regular person to be rich off of them? No, it's the opposite. They're going to use drivers to make themselves rich and give you a little piece of the pie and a hope dream, a pie in the sky dream, to think that, you know, that you can make these large sums of money. No. Unless you really creating your own industry and your own app. Being an independent contractor for a company where you're using their resources and they say, okay, we'll give you, 65%, and you just give us 35%. Franchises works that way in a sense, but this is not really a franchise. It really isn't. They just, that's just a way for them to boost up their valuation and the valuation of their company, and toss you to the side in